Welcome to the video where we're going to be working with more real-life problems, where we're going to building more real-life linear equations. So let's learn some more situations, and all of these are pretty realistic. A theater group made appearance in two cities. The hotel charge before tax in the second city was $1,000 higher than in the first city. That's how I know X and Y gonna show up, and there will be some correlation between X and Y and 1,000. The tax in the first city is 4%, something in the second is 8%, and total tax is 710. So this is how I know the relationship will be created. How much? So the last question kind of starts everything. How much was the hotel charge in each city before tax? If I see this word, each city, and I see the first and the second, then it means we'll have X and Y. It just makes sense. So you're supposed to write down nicely, let X be blah 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 and Y be blah blah blah. So what are we talking about here? Let X be the charge before tax in the first city and in the second city, right? So we're gonna copy this. Charge before tax in, and I always shortcut like this, city number 1, and then guess what? City number 2. That's for Y, right? So you do exactly the same thing for the second one. You're kind of supposed to write everything carefully to understand the point of view of this problem. But on a test, to be honest, you don't. We just expect you to give the answer on a test. But this is how you understand the situation. Then there should be two correlations between X and Y so that we can solve for each, because we need two equations for two unknowns. Well, it says that the city number 2 charges $1,000 more than the city number 1. So think about that. City number 2 is cooler than the city number 1. That means city number 2 will be city number 1 plus $1,000, not the other way around. That's how usually I see it. But whatever goes first, second city, it will be before equal sign. And then whatever goes second, first city will be after equal sign. And then it says higher, so plus, and then 1,000 and 1,000. That's how I build the equation. And you don't have to put it in the red color, by the way. It can be just black. Now, the second equation comes from this number. This number is in dollars. So I need to create finally the relationship using those percentages. It says that the first city, that's X, right? Times 4% plus the second city times 8% will give me this 710 together. Okay, just don't mess up which percent goes where. 4% times X, that's 0.04X. Don't forget to divide by 100. 8% times Y, that's 0.08 times Y equals 710. And this is my system of two equations with two unknowns. Substitution method makes sense over here. I will take this Y and plug it over here. So I will take X plus 1,000 and plug it below. Now we know how to copy and paste. We just learned from another videos. Copy and paste X plus 1,000 over here. So it's going to be 0.04X plus 0.08 times X plus 1,000 equals 710. Solve for X. First, let's distribute. There's a video how we distribute everything carefully. 0.04X plus 0.08X plus 0.08 times 1,000 is 80. Do you know how I know this? I will show you. 0.08 times 1,000. Calculate how many zeros you see. 3. So it means you need to move the dot 3 times. 1, that's 0.8. 2, that's just 8. 3, that's 80. Make sense? So that's how I know. That's how I learned it. So now it's going to be 80. That was 0.08 times 1,000 equals 710. Identify the unknowns and collect them together on the left-hand side. The other stuff on the right-hand side. 0.04 plus 0.08 is 0.12x equals 710 minus 80, that's 630. Last step, divide by 0.12. Use your calculator and you will see that the number will increase because we're dividing by the 0.12, that's decimal. That's a fraction basically, so we're multiplying by some kind of big number. So we're going to have 630 over 0.12, which is 5,250. And that's going to be the answer for X. So that's the first city. City number 1. The second city, as you remember, is cooler than the first city. So you can look it up here. What does it mean by being cooler? It means take the X and add 1,000. Y will be $6,250. That's for the city number 2. Pretty cool. Not too bad. I think the creating the system is the hardest part, and then you just slowly solve for the unknown, 2 unknowns in this case. One more problem. In this problem, we have a movie theater, we have child admission tickets and adult admission tickets. So that's going to be my X and Y. Again, let's let X to be blah, blah, blah. X to be the child admission. Y will be adult admission. Very nice. Then we have information. So we start collecting information. They say on Wednesdays 3 times, as here, 3 times as many adult tickets as child tickets were sold. So tickets, right? We have number of tickets. That's the idea. And same here, number of tickets. So the adult tickets are cooler. That's how I know that Y equals, not vice versa. That's exactly how I see it. Adult tickets says 3 times as many as child. So it will be X child times 3. Makes sense? So that's the idea. That's the first connection. The second connection comes from those money. It says multiply child admission by 6.6, multiply adult admission, adult ticket by the dollar admission, 9.9, and then it will add up to this number. So it's going to be 6 times 6x plus 9.9y equals 119.7.9. And that's a system. And we're going to repeat the whole story. I will take this y and plug it over here. That's called substitution method. So copy paste, we know that 6.6x plus 9.9 times 3x equals 1197.9. Distribute and collect. 6.6x plus 9.9 times 3 is 29.7x equals 1197.9. Connect together. 36.3x equals 1197.9. Finally divide by 36.3. And the answer follows. X is 33. Surprisingly, it gave a good answer, good number. Do we need to find y? Let's read. The question says how many child tickets were sold. It's over here, if you don't see. How many child tickets were sold? So they don't care about adults, then it means you don't have to multiply by 3 to find the number for the adults. 33 tickets were sold for children. Last problem. Investment. Of course, you will see in your homework and problem sets and probably on the exam some kind of investment problem. So you decide on, in this case, it's 20, but for, say you invested into funds, you don't know how much total you invested, but you know that 2,000 went to the fund A and returned 2%. Something went to the fund B and returned 5%. You know that together they returned 4% of total. So you have fund A, and then you put $2,000 here, and these guys gave you 2% return. You have fund B. You don't know how much dollar you put there or Tony put there, but you know that that one gives you 5% profit. And you also know that total profit is 4%. Build a system from here. And this is how I see it. Hopefully you get the way I see it, but actually there are different ways to see the same situation. So when I was reading it, I figured out that I took $2,000, put it in the fund A with 2% return, so I need to multiply by 0.02 to see what my return is from the fund A. Then I added a known number of money, so that's X, right? We call it X. Whatever you don't know, you call it x. It makes sense. I'll multiply it by 0.02 because that's, not 2, 5, because that's the amount of profit I will get from that account. And then the total is 0.04, but it doesn't look smart, to be honest. So the total is not supposed, the answer not supposed to be percentage. The answer is supposed to be in dollars, right? Because I'm calculating everything in dollars. So units do not match. So this is how I was thinking. This amount of money plus this amount of money times the 4%. That is the result. So I'm multiplying 0.04 by $2,000, which I invested in the first account, plus X, which I invested in the second account. So again, I know how much I invested in the first account. I know how much I invested in the second account. I will call it X. And it says totally for both, from both funds, I got 4%. So I'm going to multiply by 0.04. And that is my linear equation. That is my result on the right-hand side, result of the investment. And that is my investment in the fund A and the fund B, so on the left-hand side. And now I just need to solve this linear equation. Let's distribute everything. $2,000 times 0.02 is just 40. Check your calculator, or just do 2 times 2 is 4, and then move 3 zeros to the right. It's gonna be like this: 1, 2, 3. So that's 20, but times 2, 40. Plus, we don't know what is happening with x, so we're gonna keep it as it is. 0.05x equals distribute 0.04 times 2,000. That is going to be 80 plus 0.04x. And we saw these linear equations before. Collect the unknowns on the left hand side, collect the constant on the right hand side. 0.05x minus 0.04x equals 80 minus 40. That is going to be 0.01x equals 80 minus 40 is 40. X is, I'm dividing by 0.01. That means I'm actually multiplying by 1,000. Check yourself, that's true, by 100. So it's going to be 40 times 100, which is 40 and more 2 zeros, 4,000. And that is the answer. The investment into the fund B was $4,000. That was fund B investment. Keep practicing these problems, not to freak out from reading some wordings first. And also I always recommend, usually we recommend you to imagine the story. Imagine you actually going to the bank and you're investing. How would you build the story? This is very realistic. And see how I did it? It was in dollars on the left hand side, and it is in dollars on the right hand side. So units matched. Hopefully now it's more clear, and we're gonna do more in more videos. See you next time.